Hello and welcome back with another video lecture. In this video lecture, the topic under discussion is stages of labor. So labor can be divided into three stages. Normal labor usually occur after 37 weeks of pregnancy. Full term delivery occurring between 37 to 42 weeks of gestational period, but sometime under certain situation labor might occur before 37 weeks of gestational period. If it occur before 37 weeks, we called it premature labor. It must noted that labor is divided into three stages, that is stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3. Now let's see when a woman is intended to labor or want to give birth. So what is happening? She will enter to stage 1 of labor. Stage 1 can be further divided into two phases. The latent phase, which also known as initial phase, and the active phase of stage 1. Let's start from the physiology of labor. So when labor begins, the cervix of the pregnant woman is actually being stretched by the fetus due to release of certain factors. The stretching of cervix of uterus will send signals to the brains. Then the brain will send impulses or signal to hypothalamus, which is a part of the brain, and posterior pituitary glands to release an oxytocin hormone. The oxytocin hormone will reach to the uterus through the blood and starting stimulating uterine contractions. What's more, when the fetus is ready to go out from the uterus, it will also release things from itself, which will also stimulate the placenta to secrete chemicals called prostaglandins. The prostaglandin also stimulate uterine contraction. So with all this uterine contraction by the oxytocin and prostaglandin, the cervix will actually slowly stretch out even more and the cycles continues. It's a positive feedback loop. Remember that uterine contractions are more constant. The contractions comes in waves with regular rhythm. The contractions occur during labor is regular and painful contractions. Let's see, here is the cervix of uterus. As you can see the frontal view in the diagram. In the diagram, the cervix of uterus is not dilated here. When the labor progresses, the cervix of uterus is dilated. Now look at the initial phase of stage 1. Here the cervix is about 3 cm dilated or 4 cm. The cervix stretches slowly and you begin to see thinning of the cervix, which is effacement of the cervix, which will progress to the final outcome of cervix dilatation. Once the cervix open into 3 cm or 4 cm in the diameter, the initial phase or latent phase of stage 1 is then will enter into the active phase of stage 1. In the active phase of stage 1 of labor, the cervix will just continue to dilate. Still the contractions of cervix is regular and more painful. When the dilation of cervix reached up to 10 cm, the cervix is said to be fully dilated. This is where you can see crowning of the baby's head. Look at here again, the frontal view of the cervix of uterus is fully dilated about 10 cm. This condition is called crowning. When you see the head of the baby coming down, the stage 1 will progress into stage 2. Remember that fetus is usually delivered head first, but in some condition the foot or legs of the fetus or baby can come first. This is called breech position. Fetus in breech position can be delivered normally from the vagina, but often they are delivered through a C-section or cesarean section because of the risk of complications of normal delivery. The uterus is contracting all this time, remember, because of oxytocin hormone and the prostaglandin. So in simple words, stage 2 is full cervix dilatation. The fetus is born basically in stage 2. In stage 2, the mother gives birth and delivers the baby. Here is the umbilical cord and here is a placenta. And here is a cervix fully dilated about 10 centimeter. Still here is regular contractions. Once the baby is born, the labor will enter into stage 3. The stage 3 of labor is basically the delivery of the placenta from uterus, and here is umbilical cord, which is the connection between the baby and the placenta. In stage 3 of labor, the placenta is slowly detaching from the uterine lining. Remember, the uterus is still contracting at this stage, and actually during this time the mother is given an injection to stimulate the delivery of the placenta. The placenta has to be carefully removed because it can cause complications like hemorrhage or bleeding if not carefully removed. Once the baby is out, then the umbilical clamps are put on either side of the umbilical cord, and then the umbilical cord is cut. It also routine to get blood from the umbilical cord for pH analysis. I hope this video makes sense. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment.